Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to Path to Temperance. My name is Angela, and I'm an intuitive healer, channel, and energy reader. If this is your first time here, welcome. If not, of course, welcome back. So yesterday, I took like a little submission, right? Took my little day off, and I received a downloaded song. And my boys watch a show called Steve and Maggie. And it was one of the songs in one of the episodes that just came to my mind. And it's, I'm unstoppable when I'm in my monster truck. It does that verse again. It says, no one can stop me now. No, I'll never get stuck. Okay. And it was ringing in my head nearly all day. And I was like, I'm really trying to take the day off. So here we are today channeling out that song. And when I came to sit down, kind of cleansing my cards and things like this is obliteration of our ego type of energy. Okay. When we are in our mind, and you hear me speak on subconscious programming a lot, right? So what we tell ourselves is what we believe, right? What our mind thinks is how we live our life, right? So now this is kind of like, we need to shatter all of the limiting beliefs, the old paradigm here, okay? We need to break down this ego, all of the negative thought patterns that we have. You are unstoppable. Nobody can stop you. You are not stuck. You are not imprisoned anywhere. It's all in here. And this is really helping you in the present moment, right? But this is also for future generations. Because if you hear me speak again, everything happens generationally, societally, programming, right? So if you are programmed to feel that there's no way out of any set of circumstances in your life, you are then bringing that down to future generations here, okay? This is really about being a fool in life, taking leaps of faith. Start believing in yourself. You are unstoppable in every area of your life. If something is stopping you, it's in your mind. It's a pattern that you are used to living in. And in the last video I had recorded here recently was about, being a conscious observer, right? This is definitely in line here, okay? Because as we're progressing here, as the planet is evolving and expanding here, collective consciously, right? Consciously, collective is in this space now where it's like it's time to evolve. It's time to evolve from this really small little bundle of ego that we've been living in, this limited way of thinking and living and seeing ourselves and the world. So this is really a reminder. You are unstoppable no matter what. And the only way or reason you are stuck is because it's all in the head, the ego, right? The ego is taking over. And there's a difference between, moving forward intellectually, right? Or moving forward from a programmed way, an unconscious behavior and pattern. If you continue to tell yourself something is hard, or that something is supposed to take a long time, or something is supposed to, whatever you're telling yourself is creating your reality. And I can't stress that enough. And I know, in the spiritual world, many people know that, right? But I feel that I'm placed here and I'm going to attract people that are at the very, very, very beginning. I'm here to start cracking open the mind here. Okay, so if you are naturally drawn to my channel, if you feel naturally drawn to anything that I'm speaking about, there's a reason. And it's because your soul is speaking to you to start changing the way you think right now, to start opening your eyes, not only the ones you see with, but this one, to not only look, but to see beyond. Okay. Dragon's Horde. Protecting the future. And wasn't I just saying this is about future generations here, okay? Because how we are living in the present moment, especially if you have children, you are programming them the way you are programmed, good or bad. And, when, people are, not woke or unawakened type of thing, we can't see, right? We think that the way that we are living is perfectly fine and normal, and to many it is, and many choose to stay within that frame of mind. Absolutely, it's everybody's free will what they choose to do in their life, and especially with their future generations. But for the people that feel drawn to expansion and growth, it really is time to start reflecting on what you tell yourself, because it's being passed along to future generations. So with all that being said, my beautiful angels, spirit guides, ancestors, the highest white light, and look at teachability, right? We're teaching that to future generations. Absolutely. The feathers. My beautiful angel, spirit guides, ancestors, the highest white light, and decree on the beautiful higher self. What can we tell my beautiful viewer about this energy here? I'm unstoppable, and really just breaking down the ego. I kind of had like this burping sensation here, okay? I'm always drawn to the lower chakras, especially when I'm talking about these things, because that's where that dense energy is that we need to bring up here. It's the energy that's in our lower chakras, right? That we need that purification here within our root, our sacral, and our solar plexus to break into the heart and get into the upper chakras, which is the feminine, right? And I feel that for many people in life, you know, that are living unconsciously here, which is a majority of people, right? We don't realize that what we say, what we do, we're leading by example, especially if you are a parent here, okay? And my messages are not to judge anybody in their life in any way. No, I'm here to get the gears moving, okay? So some people, again, are attracted to what I have to say, are intrigued, and then some people are triggered. And that's because I'm an activator. And so if you seem to get triggered, it's because we're getting somewhere. I'm touching something that's sensitive to you. It's not from my fault of any own. It is then a reflection of you. Why are you being triggered by whatever is being said? And this doesn't only have to be me. This could be all other types of spiritual teachers, you know, people that you come across that are saying things that make you think, and then it kind of upsets you in some sort of way because it's a truth that maybe you might be denying, not wanting to hear. It could be a multitude of things, right? Okay. Root girl, disowned self, right? As I'm talking about how people get triggered and then we run away, right? And I've noticed that here on my platforms too, you know, all of my current subscribers and followers. I am so grateful to you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and supporting me. But I have noticed that as I've gone along my journey here, people who are going to be drawn to me is because they are ready for activation. They are ready for ascension. They are ready to learn and grow. A lot of people that get turned off, or they can't, they'll shut off the video. I might have lost tons of people by this point, right? Because it's too much. Some people aren't ready, and that's okay. Everyone is traveling at their own speeds, on their own timelines, but ultimately, in the nicest way possible, you're just running away from yourself. This rooted energy, right? The disowned self. And that's where society is right now. We've disowned ourselves. We're afraid to look at ourselves. So when somebody, including myself, brings up something that's triggering, people tend to run because they're only running from themselves. And now that alone can be very triggering for people. You're running from yourself, ultimately, your own healing, growth. So my beautiful angels, spirit guides, ancestors, the highest white light, and decree only. What can we tell my beautiful viewer here about this energy? I'm unstoppable. Breaking down, obliterating is kind of like the word I want to use here with the ego, and, you know, get them into a space of owning themselves, not disowning. We don't want to disown ourselves anymore here. Clarity and organization. And look it came back. This is powerful stuff here. Look at the color matches as well here, and a lot of rooted energy, okay? So as I'm talking about breaking down our ego, what we have been rooted in already, the subconscious, how we are working out of the programming that is already in our lives. Do you want to continue disowning yourself by the current programming that you are living in? It's time to start organizing our thoughts, right? And, I think really learning the difference between programming and like our instinctual thoughts versus maybe our intuition, because I think that could be very confusing. And when I started my journey, it took me a while to begin trusting my intuition and the information that I was receiving, right? That I do receive. So here it's really showing us that we have to start at the bottom, right? It's step one to start at the root. And that is exactly how it works as well on the chakra system. You need to break through the root chakra. You need to ground. You need to break through that safety, that security, right? And then we have 46 breaking down to 10, a completion phase. Done disowning ourselves and come to the one, right? And begin organizing things, organizing our thoughts, right? Pay attention, become a conscious observer here. What are you telling yourself that is ultimately stopping you? You're not stuck. Nobody's ever stuck, except in your head. The imprisonment of your own thoughts, of your own ego. Because what happened is we turned away from ourselves. We're not trusting ourselves. We don't trust what we're receiving, the guidance that we're receiving from ourselves, our own emotions, the story that is being told to us from our own inner selves that we continue to shut down. You can see how she's just kind of sad, right? And kind of like bent over. And this is definitely the energy of like my last reading as well. Everything that happens in the home through childhood, right? You're unstoppable. But we had to come here to start ripping out these old roots. Bottom of the deck, cosmic womb, the divine feminine, okay? Our feminine energy is really getting in touch with our emotions again, right? Really trusting our intuition, coming back to a place of spirituality and divinity. And when we're living in the ego, right? We're living in the lower chakras. We're living in the dense programming here, disowning ourselves. There's always opportunity to change and bloom, right? There's always a path to a door that you can open, right? There's always an opportunity for whatever type of weeds might be in your life to regrow, right? To rip it out. To get yourself unstuck. This is the current energy here, right? Where we are in a stalemate energy, blinded to the world, thinking from the unconscious here, disowning ourselves, telling ourselves that I can't. Well, what can you? And this, this download, I'm unstoppable when I'm in my monster truck. I mean, it's literally talking about them being in their monster truck, right? Quote unquote. But you're unstoppable when you come home to yourself. Stop disowning yourself. And another part of the verse is, you can't keep me stuck. No. Okay? By you separating from yourself, that's what's keeping you stuck from coming back home to yourself. That's what's keeping you stuck in this old way of thinking, these negative patterns, this stalemate energy in life. We're just blinded and we're on autopilot, right? Because we're living in the wounded masculine, and here we have the divine feminine on the bottom that needs to come out. But first, before we can even reach this feminine energy, beautiful souls, we have to break down the ego, the lower chakras. We have to break down this density. We have to start purifying. So can we clarify the disowned self here, my beautiful spirit team? In what ways are people disowning themselves? Can we give them some clarity, please, my beautiful spirit team? Thank you. I'm getting an energy here of where we have been raised with the expectation that others are supposed to do things for us. Like that's how we receive. Many of us in this world have also, subconsciously learned to give, and give, especially if at a young age, our worth was taken from us, our value, how we view ourselves, right? Because again, we're in an energy of disowning ourselves societally, right? So we're looking outside of ourselves for anything. And so for us to receive this approval or this validation. And this was absolutely something I was speaking on the other day as well. Okay, so this energy is kind of definitely in line, just backing it up. But now we're talking more about self and the ego here. Okay, because the ego mind will have us spinning circles. It literally will. It will keep us cyclical for as long as we allow it. That's the importance of coming back here to ourselves. You do not want to be, of course, it's your free will, but think about it. Do you want to go around in circles in negativity for the rest of your days? Today, what is one area of your life where you can look at it and recognize what's being gifted to you? If there's one thought that you can change, how can you change it? How can you come home to yourself in one way? How can you organize your thoughts and give yourself clarity? I mean, on the bottom of the deck is the Hermit, right? To go within, to be your own guiding light. That's where your answer is. You have to go within. Do you want to continue feeling not a part of yourself, feeling disconnected from yourself? Look it. 9-9 showing up, okay? This transition, this completion phase, and it's 90 on my battery as well. Another 9 showing up, 999. And it's funny because earlier today I was playing a song and the album name is 99.9%. Okay, that 0.1%, all right? There's 0.1% of humanity, of society that is living awakened lives. 99.9% is probably, I mean, that might be a little extreme here, but a majority of people in this world are asleep here, in their head, living wounded, backed up against a tree, in defense mode, afraid of what's to come next, not believing in themselves, restless, filled with anxiety and depression, heartbreak, turmoil, trauma. Again, more trees, rooted. We're rooted in the anxiety. And why do you think we're rooted in anxiety? If you answered because you're disconnected from yourself, you got it right. Nature is going to help with this too, okay? Of course, go sit against a tree, right? Trees literally absorb our negativity. They take that negative energy from our auric field, from our energy body, and they replace it with loving, positive energy that we need. And like people like back in the day, or I mean, even till today, people joke around, oh, those tree huggers are so weird. It's a real thing. You hug a tree, see how much better you feel. It might be weird. Yeah, sure, it's weird. It might be uncomfortable at first. Why am I hugging a tree? But if you accept that energy and accept that moment, you're going to feel that difference. And then more feminine energy showing up, more energy of abundance, coming home to our feminine energy. But first, it starts at the root. First, it starts with obliterating the ego. The ego gotta go, because all the ego is doing is keeping you here. Do you want to be a wounded warrior for the rest of your life, living out of trauma and pain? Always upset, not understanding the bigger picture in life, worried about the trivial things, where yes, of course, there are things in life that we need to pay attention to. There's things that are good. There's bumps in the road. It's the ebb and flow, right? It's the seasons of life. But if we stay here, beautiful souls, this is why so many of us feel left out and abandoned in our life, because we've abandoned ourselves. Come home to yourself here, beautiful souls, because you're unstoppable in your monster truck, in your own body, in your own self, right? How can we give my beautiful viewers some clarity here with a tidy house, my beautiful spirit team? Some clarity with a tidy house. Thank you. Here we have conflict, okay, and heartbreak, right? In love. All right. So, that's where a majority of our pain comes from, right? Our heart space. And when we have been through so much pain and turmoil and disappointment and betrayal, and the list can go on about what we're holding on into our hearts, right? Especially in the home. So always when I'm talking about subconscious programming and the roots. So I think that Spirit really wants to bring up the fact that we are living in our lower dense chakras that are rooted truly in conflict and heartbreak. This is exactly why there's so much negativity happening in the world. Hate and war, famish, greed, pride. We're all little children running around in this world, brokenhearted, feeling abandoned, feeling isolated. And then we just built this gigantic wall, and now we're a bunch of tough guys on the outside, but massively broken on the inside. Again, something that can be very triggering. But it's time to be honest with ourselves here. It's time to offer yourself self-love. All right, that's always going to be the answer. The hermit energy and self-love, right? To go within. Look, and then there's the clarity. And then there's the tower, right? We have two aces showing up together. Massive new beginnings here, okay? You receive clarity when you look at what's conflicting in your life. What is convoluted? That's the word that I'm receiving. What's convoluted? What is cyclical that you know is rooted in your life that's causing you heartbreak and separation from your own self? Self-love is going to bring you the clarity, the wisdom, the breakthrough that you need to start breaking down everything, to start creating sudden change in your life, to break down, go down to the foundation, right? The foundation, and then begin rebuilding. This is usually a choice card, so it does apply here. It's always your choice. But again, there's more love, this family, these partnerships here, okay? Even in my own personal experience, I have been through plenty of heartbreak and betrayal and lies and schemes and player energy and whatever you want to call it. But you know what? All of that energy, all of the things I experienced was ultimately a lesson. I'm grateful for experiencing all of that, because then it brought me my strength and my power. Now I know what I deserve. I know that I am worthy of living and receiving beyond conflict, betrayal, heartbreak, right? Obviously, I use massive discernment moving forward in my life. And I'm highly intuitive, right? So I can pick up on those things pretty quickly and see ya, And that's another thing. Starting to learn to trust ourselves and our intuition, to balance our head and our heart, where we're not just like, bottom line here, beautiful souls, it is really, really time to start looking at your surroundings, looking at your thoughts. What are you stopping yourself from? One closing message here, my beautiful spirit team. Thank you. Rise above the fray. Rise above it. Higher perspective here, always. Be resourceful, okay? Look, all these greens showing up here. Definitely heart chakra stuff, okay? Horned cactus, right? This it's giving me this energy of like that Three of Swords, where our heart chakra has been so closed off and shoved away, right? We've been really armored You know, our heart's all prickly, right? Be resourceful here. Gathering around, the power of community. And this is for the positive and the negative here, beautiful souls, okay? So the people that you are surrounded by, are they lifting you up? Are they making you happy and feel alive? Or are they dragging you down and making you feel disowned, isolated, abandoned, right? Ask yourself these simple questions here. I have a lot of ringing in both of my ears. So what this is telling me is that the masculine and the feminine energy here, okay, both really need to come into union. All right. And when I'm receiving like a lot of like kind of like ear like vibrations, you know, because I am clairaudient, I hear, right? It's really kind of giving me the energy of whatever people are telling you. Be very, very cautious. Okay? Use your discernment. Is what people are placing on you, speaking to you about, is that your truth? Does it resonate with you? And that was a big thing that I learned along my journey. I used to listen to so many outside people and take on their information, which is fine. You have trustworthy people and friends in your life. Yes, it's necessary to receive opinions and things of that sort from people when you ask, right? But if it's unsolicited, listen, okay? And pay attention to what people are telling you. Are they putting another sort of block or barrier in your way to make you believe that you can't do something that your heart is telling you that you can, or your mind? Pay attention. The power of the people we are surrounded by will make or break your life experience here, okay? And that's why on this journey, many people end up leaving, or, you know, it's really like you stand alone because you're preserving yourself and your strength, because sometimes the community does not have our best what is the word I'm looking for? Our best interest. Sometimes the people we're surrounded by doesn't have our best interest, which is understandable. Everybody is living their own lives. Everybody has a different perception. Everybody has a different view, right? Everybody's living out of their own trauma, their own issues. Not everything everybody says is going to apply to you. Use discernment, be resourceful, and pay attention to what others are telling you, and make sure that it resonates with you on a true soul level before you take that on. Because that was what stopped me a lot in my life, especially growing up. And I really think that, you know, I'm getting this energy of moving forward where my spirit team wants us to kind of like take it slow. So it's like, I think I'm going to begin receiving messages that are going to kind of like run in with each other and follow through, because we are literally here to break this down. Go deep, deep, deep into the roots. So you might hear me repeatedly, maybe for a week or the next month or however long, talking about subconscious programming and our lower chakras until it gets forced through. The divine knows what people need to hear. I'm a channel, right? I channel out what people need to hear. What God and Source, the divine, knows that people need. So again, if you've come across my teachings, if you are this far along, you're clearly resonating. There's clearly something that you're learning here, all right? And know that it is for your highest and greatest good. I am not here in any way trying to hurt people's feelings. But if you are triggered, it's because it's purposeful. You're supposed to be triggered. It's waking you up. I'm pushing a bruise that's making you say, whoa, I didn't even know that was there. And then you become aware, right? Then you're a conscious observer. Then you can start seeing what's going on in your own life. Start seeing. Not with these ones, with this one. So this was a beautiful message. I always love them, right? If you are interested in your own personal reading, please do visit my website. Link is in the description box. And again, if you guys have any questions, I love to hear from you guys. If this is your first time here, you're resonating and you're resonating with my energy, please like and subscribe. And it also ties in your energy here so I can easily pick up on future readings for you guys. Maybe there's some of you in the collective that need a very specific message. That helps me and my spirit team really get what needs to get out. Okay? Love and light.